You see it for only a second. A thin body on the bathroom wall. Long legs moving faster than your eyes can follow. It appears in the quietest part of the night when the house is still and the lights have just come on. And before you even understand what you are looking at, your hand is already reaching for a shoe. That reaction is natural. Most people do not stop to study a creature with that many legs moving that quickly across their wall. They want it gone. They want the room to feel safe again. They want the strange thing to disappear before it disappears on its own. But this is the moment where the story changes. Because the animal you are about to kill may be one of the most useful creatures living inside your home. Not beautiful. Not comforting. Not the kind of animal most people want to see. But useful. Quietly useful. Night after night, useful. The house centipede is not wandering through your home without a purpose. It is not looking for you. It is not trying to frighten you. It is hunting. And what it is, hunting may be far more important than the centipede itself. The first thing that makes people afraid is the way it moves. A house centipede does not crawl slowly like many insects. It darts. It turns suddenly. It can vanish beneath a cabinet or behind a baseboard in the time it takes you to blink. That speed makes it look aggressive. But speed is not always a sign of attack. In the case of the house centipede, speed is mostly survival. It runs because the world is dangerous when you are small and soft-bodied and surrounded by larger animals. To you, it looks like a monster. To the centipede, you are the monster. You are enormous. You are warm. You are moving. You are making vibrations through the floor. So when it sees you or feels you nearby, it does what almost every small creature would do. It escapes. That sudden movement that makes your heart jump is not a charge. It is a retreat. It is not coming for you. It is trying to get away. And once you understand that, the next question becomes more interesting. If it is not chasing you, then what is it chasing? The answer is hidden in the places you rarely look. Behind the refrigerator, under the sink, inside wall gaps, round old pipes, behind cardboard boxes in the basement, along the dark edges of storage closets. These are the places where small pests move quietly, long before you notice them. A roach does not announce itself when it enters a home. A silverfish does not leave a warning note before it starts feeding on paper and glue. Ants may travel beneath the floor before they ever appear on the counter. Tiny spiders may build webs in places your eyes never reach. And in those same narrow spaces, the house centipede is moving. It is built for those spaces. Its long legs help it glide over uneven surfaces. Its antennae read the dark like sensitive instruments. It can detect movement in cracks and corners where your hand cannot reach. And when it finds prey, it does not hesitate. This is why the house centipede matters. It eats many of the small creatures that people actually do not want in their homes. It hunts cockroaches. It hunts silverfish. It hunts ants. It hunts small spiders. It hunts moths. It hunts flies. It may even feed on tiny, soft-bodied insects and young pests before they grow into a bigger problem. That means the thing you fear on the wall may be removing the things you would fear even more if you saw them clearly. A single centipede in a bathroom is unpleasant, but a hidden roach population behind the kitchen wall is worse. A centipede crossing a basement floor is startling, but insects feeding in stored boxes, books, fabric, and food are worse. The centipede is visible for a moment. The real problem often is not. That is why killing the centipede can sometimes feel like solving a problem, while leaving the actual problem untouched. You remove the creature you saw, but you do not remove the insects it was finding. You silence the messenger, but the message remains. And this is where many people misunderstand what a house centipede is telling them. If you see one every now and then, it may simply mean your home has a few small insects moving through the damp and hidden parts of the building. Almost every home does. Even clean homes. Even careful homes. Even homes where people sweep, mop, vacuum, and store food properly. Houses are full of tiny spaces, warm gaps, moist corners, dark routes between rooms. Small creatures use those places because they were made by construction, not by nature, but to insects. They can feel like caves. A house centipede follows those routes because that is where food is. But if you begin seeing many centipedes in many rooms, the meaning changes. The centipede is no longer just an occasional visitor. It may be a sign. Not a sign that your home is dirty. Not a sign that you have done something wrong. a sign that somewhere nearby there is enough insect life to keep predators alive. Predators follow prey. They do not stay where there is nothing to eat. So if the centipedes are staying there, maybe a food source. That food source could be roaches. It could be silverfish. It could be ants. It could be small flies breeding near moisture. It could be insects hiding in cardboard storage or damp corners. The centipede is not creating that situation. It is responding to it. And in a strange way, it is helping you notice something that might otherwise remain hidden for months. This is why fear alone is not very useful. Fear says kill it. Observation says ask why it is here. A house centipede in the bathtub may be there because it became trapped after hunting near a drain. One on a basement wall may be there because the basement is damp. One near the laundry room may be following insects that like warmth, moisture, and lint. One in a closet may be searching through the quiet dark where small moths or other insects can hide. The location matters. The pattern matters. One centipede is an encounter. Many centipedes are information. And when you start treating them as information, you begin to understand your home differently. The next thing people worry about is whether the house centipede is dangerous. This is understandable. Anything that moves that fast and looks that strange feels like it must be harmful. The truth is calmer than the fear. House centipedes do have venom. They need it to subdue the small animals they hunt. But their tools are meant for insects and other tiny prey. They are not built to attack people. They do not feed on people. They do not seek people out. Most of the time, they want no contact with you at all. A bite from a house centipede is rare. It usually happens only when the animal is trapped against skin or handled carelessly. For most healthy adults, the reaction is usually mild and local if it happens at all. But the important point is not that you should touch one. You should not. The important point is that you do not need to treat it like a serious threat. Respect it. Avoid handling it. But do not imagine that it is waiting in the dark for you. It is waiting in the dark for insects. That difference changes everything. Because once you stop seeing the house centipede as an enemy, you can make better decisions. If you see one and you can tolerate it, the simplest choice is to leave it alone. It will likely vanish back into the hidden parts of the house and continue doing what it was doing before you noticed it. If you cannot tolerate it, you do not have to crush it. A glass and a piece of stiff paper can move it outside or into a less disturbing area. You do not have to love it. You do not have to invite it into your bedroom. You only have to understand that killing it is not always the smartest answer. The smarter answer is to ask what conditions brought it there. House centipedes like moisture. So do many of the insects they eat. That means damp places deserve attention. A leaking pipe beneath a sink. A bathroom without enough airflow. A basement that smells musty. A crawl space that stays wet after rain. A laundry area where humidity lingers. These are not just comfort issues. They are habitat. When moisture stays high, small insects often increase. When small insects increase, predators arrive. The house centipede is part of that chain. So if you want fewer centipedes, do not begin with the centipede. Begin with the water. Fix the leak. Dry the corner. Improve ventilation. Use a dehumidifier if the basement stays damp. Move cardboard boxes away from wet walls. Keep stored items off the floor. Seal cracks where pipes enter walls. Close gaps around baseboards when you can. Clean the quiet edges where crumbs, dust, and dead insects collect. These steps do not just make the home look cleaner. They make the hidden environment less attractive to the insects that feed the centipede. And when the prey disappears, the predator loses its reason to stay. That is the part many people miss. You do not need to fight the house centipede directly to reduce it. You change the conditions. The rest follows. Nature works this way even inside a house. Every creature needs food. Every creature needs shelter. Every creature needs the right level of moisture. Remove those things and the population changes. The house centipede is not magic. It is not a curse. It is not a punishment. It is an animal responding to opportunity. And in many homes, it is doing work quietly, where people cannot reach. Think about that for a moment. While you are sleeping, it is moving through the dark spaces of your home, not making noise, not damaging wood, not chewing wires, not eating your clothes, not contaminating your food. It is searching for the creatures that may do those things. The image is uncomfortable, but the role is useful. That is why the house centipede is one of the best examples of how appearance can mislead us. Some animals look gentle but cause trouble. Some animals look frightening but provide help. The house centipede belongs to the second group. It looks like something that should not belong in a home. But in the hidden ecology of a home, it has a place. A strange place. A quiet place. A place most people never think about until one runs across the wall. And maybe that is why it frightens us so much. It reminds us that our homes are not as separate from nature as we imagine. Even with locked doors and clean floors and bright lights, the natural world still finds small entrances. Tiny lives move around us, under us, beside us, behind the walls. Most of the time, we do not see them. Then one night, something with too many legs appears on a bathroom wall, and suddenly we remember. We are sharing space, not always with enemies, sometimes with cleaners, sometimes with hunters, sometimes with small living things that are solving problems in ways we never asked for and never noticed. So the next time you see a house centipede, pause before you act. Look at it for 1 second longer than you normally would. Not because it is beautiful, not because it is pleasant, but because it has a story. It is not there to ruin your night. It is not there to attack you. It is there because somewhere in the hidden spaces of your home, something smaller is moving, something it can sense, something it can catch, something you might never have seen until the problem became larger. That is what makes the house centipede different. It is both a hunter and a warning, a small predator and a small signal, a creature that can make you uncomfortable while also making your home a little less friendly to pests. That does not mean you should ignore frequent sightings. If you see them, often check the deeper cause. Look for dampness. Look for cracks. Look for insects. Look for stored paper and cardboard in wet places. Look for rooms that stay dark and humid. Let the centipede teach you where the home needs attention. But if you see one only once in a while, try to remember what it may be doing. It may be hunting a roach before you ever find it. It may be catching silverfish before they reach your books. It may be reducing insects in a corner you never clean, because you never knew anything lived there. It may be protecting you from something worse, simply by living the life it was made to live. That is not a reason to panic. That is a reason to think. A house centipede is not a pet. It is not a decoration. It is not something most people will ever enjoy seeing. But it is also not the villain people imagine. It is one of those small, unsettling neighbors that reminds us that nature is not always soft and pretty. Sometimes nature is fast, thin, many-legged, hidden in the dark, and still on your side. Have you ever found a house centipede in your home and wondered why it was there? Did you kill it right away? Did you let it disappear? Or did you later discover that there were other insects hiding in the same area? Share your experience in the comments. Stories like that help other people see their own homes differently. Because sometimes one small moment on a bathroom wall can change the way we understand an entire house. The creature you once saw as a problem may actually be pointing toward the real problem. And the thing you wanted to remove may have been quietly removing something else for you. So before you reach for a shoe next time, give it one breath, one pause, one chance to remind you that the world inside your home is more alive than it seems. And sometimes the strangest creature in the room is not the one you should fear most. Sometimes it is the one keeping the worst things away. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.